Hello guys, Craig here. Thank you for checking out this video where I go through my top 10 Wonderkids that I have found throughout my FM21 saves. Now there may be some duplicates out there that other creators have found, but these are the plays that I've come across anyway and I rate highly enough to obviously feature them in my top 10. So we all love a Wonderkid, don't we? Oh dear, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Wonderkids are good for the Football Manager content. That's it. What a discovery. So I'm going to go through my top 10. Let's have a look at them. So in at number 10 then, we've got the Spanish 16-year-old Alejandro Iturbe. Goalkeeper who's got a reasonable left foot and very strong right foot. Now at 6'5", obviously he's got height on his side. And he's a decent all-round player, yes, plenty of reds there as we can see, but a 16-year-old is only going to get better. So his aerial reach is 11, handling 13, one-on-ones 12, decision making 13, with shot stopping and aerial, his main attributes there. Eccentricity, the one that obviously to watch out for, is a 6, and when I've put offers in for him, I've been able to pick him up for around about £2 million. So all in all, an absolute bargain. And then 5 years into the future, he's started to look more of an all-rounded goalkeeper. When you look at his distribution, much improved. His eccentricity though is still 6, and that's what you want, not changed in 5 years. And he's still at Atletico Madrid. And even at 21, 5 years into the future, he's still a bit of a bargain. In at number 9 is the 17-year-old Frenchman from PSG, Timothy Pembele. Predominantly a centre-back that can play right across the back four. He's an accomplished right-back. He's unconvincing at left-back. He's got a weak left foot, very strong right foot, and physically very good. We can see here obviously attribute-wise, defending, physical, mentals, decent. He's got quite a bit of pace about him as well at 13. But the bits that I always look out for a defender is heading, marking and tackling, and he's got 2 out of those 3, with marking and tackling both being 15. Decision making 15 as well. Now this guy is going to cost you a little bit of money if you want to pick him up. I've tried to get him, 17-year-old like I say, and he's costing around about £30 million. Now obviously you can get more of a sell on percentage to obviously reduce that, but for me I was getting him around about the £30 million mark. And as you can see then, 5 years into the future, Pembele is now at Atletico Madrid. Stats wise, plenty going on there now. Marking 16, tackling 16, decision making, anticipation, got a lot going on. And those stats there just getting better. Currently valued at 23 million, and that's what Atletico Madrid paid for him in our save. So I said he'd get him for around about 30 million. Atletico Madrid, 5 years in, getting him for 23.5. And a 22-year-old, he's got a lot more to give. Be interesting to see how he would look in 10 years. In at number 8 then is Yusuf Vadio, 18-year-old Croatian who can play at the back again. So he's a very strong centre-back. Can play out on that left hand side as a defensive left as well. He's accomplished there. He's got a very strong left foot, a fairly strong right foot, so he's not bad with both feet. 6'1", so he has got height on his side as well. And he's a jack of all trades, stats wise, very, very good already. And when we look at the chart out here, he's a well-rounded player. So technically, don't ask him to take a corner, currently 2, but everywhere else looks decent, physically, mentally and technically good. Determination 16, natural fitness 16 as well. Plenty of aggression about him with 15. But that heading, marking and tackling that I was talking about, already looking decent. He's another player that when I've tried to put an offer in, cost quite a bit of money. The minimum I could get him for was £25 million, already valued at 2.2 million anyway. Again, if you went for future sell-on fees, you could maybe get that price reduced, but 25 million was what he cost me. And in 5 years then, Vadio has become even a bigger all-rounded player. Media description is now a powerful centre-back, and he's just got better in the areas he was already good at, with his physicals taking a bit of a rise. Now he's currently at RB Leipzig in my save, and they bought him for 14.5 million 2 seasons in. And that was a player that I said would have cost me around about 30 million. So there are opportunities out there. Pick him up a lot cheaper than the opportunity that I was given. But for me, he's an absolute beast at centre-back. So in at number 7 then is Gabriel Menino. Now the 19-year-old Brazilian can play, he's very versatile, let's put it that way. He can play out on that defensive right hand side as a natural. He's also a natural as a defensive midfielder and in the centre of the park as well. Now he's fairly strong with his left foot, very strong with his right foot, and again just like Vadio, is a good all-round player. Technically, mentally, physically very good, with the majority of his attributes between 11 and 14. Very good already at 19. Valued at 3.6 million. This guy cost me 15 million, or around about when I was putting offers in again. And for somebody this well rounded, I think that's a good deal. And 5 years in then, Menino has probably remained about the same. He's still a quality all-round player and was very good for somebody at 19 years old. But at 24, he's now valued at 32.5 million, and in my game, he's playing at Norwich. They bought him for 25.5 million 3 seasons in. After at the start, I said I could pick him for around about 15 million, so they paid an additional 10 million for him. Now he's playing games in the Premier League here for Norwich, which shows that he can fit right in there. But again, an all-round decent player. Speed, vision, and physicals, very good. You know, and he can play across many different positions. Just a jack of all trades. So in at number 6 then is Dimo Krastev, a 17-year-old Bulgarian who plays for Fiorentina at the moment. Now he can play as a defensive midfielder and a central midfielder. He's also a competent centre-back. You can see there, aerial is very good at 6.5 though, you would expect that. His media description is a promising midfielder, and he's got quite a bit about him, with flair and passing also in decent numbers. He's somebody that could really fit into the Hispania team. Like I say, he can drop in at centre-back, defensive midfield or central midfield, and a player that doesn't cost the earth. This guy actually cost £1 million when I put an offer in for him, so he's somebody that you could go out and get straight away. And 5 years in then, Dimo is still at Fiorentina, now valued at 4.5 million. Physically has really moved on, with his mentals also taking a boost. Like I say, he hasn't moved, he is still at Fiorentina, now playing games within their first team, and still only valued at 4.5 million 5 years in, so the opportunity to get him once he's developed a little bit further. And now we're into the top 5 then, with Edvard Tagstad, the 19-year-old Norwegian who's currently at Rosenborg. Now look at the positions, he can basically play anywhere on the park. He's Mr. Versatility, very strong left foot. He's an accomplished defensive midfielder and central midfielder, but can play out on the wide areas. He's very good technically, needs a bit of work aerially. He's 5'6" on the small side, but first touch 16, balance 16, and that work rate in the middle of the park at 16, it could be a real engine that drives your team forward. Now when I've put offers in, I've had bids come back in at about £4 million, so for me that's an absolute snip. Yes, he's valued at 28.5k, but at 4 million you're getting basically a jack of all trades and somebody that's going to add a lot of squad depth to your team. And as a jack of all trades, then Tagstad is developing nicely. Like I said before, he can play more or less every position on the pitch, and with decent physicals like that, acceleration of 16 now, pace of 14, he can get about. Work rate of 17 as well is lovely. Currently valued at 38 million and playing at Southampton in my save. Southampton put him up for 6 million after I said you'd probably get him for around about 4 million. So for me, 6 million, so that's a bit of a bargain for somebody that's actually just been relegated to the Championship with Southampton, but has played a fair few games in the Premier League. So in at number 4 then is Omar Beyaz, the 16-year-old Turk who's currently at Fenerbahce. Going forward, this guy is incredible. So he can currently play a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. He's left-footed, very strong there, right on the weak foot. His media description, he's got a fairly determined personality, but already technically gifted. With 13 dribbling, 15 composure, 15 vision, work rate could improve, with technique 15 as well, and valued at 425k. Offers I've put in were around about the 9 million mark and they were getting accepted, but he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Like I say, somebody else that can play right down the spine of your team, would be very good behind the strikers and attacking midfielder, as he will offer a lot of creativity. So 5 years in then, and Beyaz has developed fantastically over the 5 years. Attacking wise in his technicals, first touch, free kick taken, technique, vision, all massively on the rise. He's now playing at Chelsea in my save. He's in the under-23s at the minute. They bought him for 7.5 million, which seems about right, as the offers I was given was around about 9 million. So they put him up He's been out on loan, played one game for the first team, but at 21 years old, he's going to offer a lot of creative flair behind your strikers. So in at number 3 then is Yusuf Auba, the 17-year-old Austrian who's currently at Rapid Vienna. Another player that can play as an attacker midfield, can also play out on that attacker midfielder right position where he's a natural, can drop back into the centre of midfield where he's competent, and up front as a striker is accomplished. Now dribbling 15, finishing 15, he's got 14 passing, his technique's 13. When we look here, technical, attacking, vision and speed, you're at 14 acceleration, pace is 15, and that determination, that's the one. His personality is resolute, and at 17 he's already on the way to being a world beater. Now Yusuf, he's going to cost you a bit of money should you be interested in him. £27 million was the lowest I could get when I've put offers in, so you may have to go and break the bank to get him. And 5 years in, his development just gets better, as there's now plenty of greens appearing all over his stats. His attacking traits, they've all gone up. Dribbling 17, passing 17, acceleration and pace, a bit of a speed merchant. Now he's currently in Liverpool, valued at £74 million. And he has been playing games for them as well. Played 23 games last season, 3 goals and 1 assist in my save. Cost £31 million. After I'd said you'd probably pick him up for around about 27 million. So seems about right. A lot of money, but when we look at what he's valued at the minute, like I say, 74 million and those stats, absolutely incredible. So in at number 2 then is Carl Jorge, an 18-year-old Brazilian who's currently at Santos, valued at 1.3 million. He's got plenty of attacking ability, determination currently 16, that is a standout, but dribbling 12, finishing 14. Also got the strength at 13, matching that acceleration and pace as well. He's an out-and-out striker, but he can also drop a little bit deeper and play out on the left and right hand sides of the attacking midfield as a competent player. And this guy's going to be an absolute world beater, and he doesn't cost as much as you would think, as offers that I've put in is coming at around about £15 million, which for me is a little bit of a bargain. And in my save, George didn't take the path that I would have expected, so he's currently playing at Brighton, valued at 38 million. Stats wise, there's been a little bit of improvement, but he's only 23-year-old, he's still got a lot more development to do, and Brighton paid 13.25 million for him 2 seasons in. Now I said you'd be able to pick him up for around about 15 million, so 13.25. I don't know if that's the quality around him. In other saves that I've had, he scored a lot more goals than this, but last season he played 33 games, 11 goals, 5 assists, not bad for a team like Brighton, currently in the Premier League and setting the world alight. But after paying just over 13 million for him, being valued at 38 million, looks like there's a bit of profit to be had as well. And then my number 1 player is Yusuf Budgie, the 18-year-old Senegalese international, already capped 3 times by Senegal, valued at 3.8 million. Now, he's not like Carl Jorge. This guy's more of an all-rounded player, aerially very good at 6'4", and speed-wise is an absolute merchant, with acceleration 15, pace also 15, jump and reach 18, and his natural fitness, he'll run all day. And his natural fitness at 15 as well, meaning he'll run all day for you. Now, he's a natural striker, but he can also drop deeper, play out on that left, central and right hand side of your attack and midfield options. With finishing of 12 and also composure 11, he has got a little bit more to give, but for me, as a striking option, he's an all-rounder. And again, isn't somebody that's going to cost you an extortionate amount of money like your Vadios and your Pembeles did. I've had offers accepted at £18 million. And again, if this is somebody you're going to get another 12 years out of and get him into his prime, he's going to be absolutely incredible. And 5 years later then, Budgie finds himself at Newcastle United. Now look at those physicals. What an athlete. With his acceleration and pace 16, natural fitness 16 as well. He can run all day. Currently valued at 33.5 million on my save. Newcastle paid 36.5 million for him. After I said you'd pick him up for about 18 million. That's about right for Newcastle though. They like to overpay for players, but a couple of seasons in for Club Brugge, he'd got 16 and 13 goals for them. Has then gone to Newcastle, hasn't really set the world alight. But I think at a better club with better players around him, he'd be scoring goals for fun. He's only had 8 goals in 52 appearances, but like I say, physically awesome. If he can just improve on that finishing and composure, you've got an absolute superstar there. So there you go then guys, that's 10 Wonderkids that I've come across so far on my FM21 journey. If there's anyone I've missed, please obviously leave comments. Let me know what you think about the players that I found, if you've used them, if they're any good further on, because obviously we've only went across the first 5 years of their career. So yeah, just let me know what you think in the comments, that'd be great. And if you've liked, please give it a like and subscribe. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.